What a week it has been, and what a day shall bring, if you will. A lot going on today. As you know, we have Michael Christopher on, and he has entered into the experience. And as always, we always like to start off the experience with an experience. And Max, you always go first, and ladies first as always. So what has been your experience this week?
I have some interesting things that have been going on. So I came down to Florida, which is my kind of home state, and to visit the fam and hang out. And I am staying at this fantastic hotel. It's gorgeous. It's really 5-star, beautiful place. There's a convention going on here of holistic practitioners and meditation, and they sell pillows. I don't want to give out the company name or anything, but I find this a little interesting when you're claiming to be a practitioner and helping people, but you want to sell them a product, and you're having a convention about how to sell the product in a pyramid kind of way. I don't know how you guys feel about these pyramid kind of things, but what do you think?
Well, Max, you should know everything about pyramids. You're Egyptian, so you should be totally into that.
Right. That's right. I mean, I this is really interesting because I find this happening a lot, where the quote unquote spiritual, holistic world has kind of become this, I don't know, it's a breeding ground for personalities. It's really become less about actually helping people, and more about selling things, and more about becoming as much of a celebrity as you can it's crazy, like everything from people teaching astral projection and meditation and all this stuff down the line, and I just go, wow, this is some things you can't really teach so clearly, but I mean, you can't really sell a product on something like astral projection and guarantee results, because it really depends on the level of which your, call it karma, energy, life experience, soul experience. There's so many different things to having success in those areas. So yeah, but hey, buy the pillow.
Buy the pillow. It was interesting because we're sitting at dinner, and there's all these people around us who are obviously with this convention, and there were maybe 3 people that looked like they could possibly do meditation. And we were like, okay, those 3 I would, trust. The rest of the, 1,000 people is pretty sketchy. If you're going to promote meditation and, peaceful enterprises, I'm confused at them walking around with these pillows going, yes, and this is how we're going to sell this, and then win a trip to England or something. I don't know. I'm just thrown off by the whole experience. That's my experience today, other than being in the rain.
So yeah, so your background and your knowledge and experience in the healing arts, and I think what I've come up with is that the masses are always going to be they're at a little bit of a different level, but there's so much more of them down there that it's like, oh, I could have this pillow or this whatever. There's so many different products that are being sold. And, people don't usually want to learn meditation. I mean, I actually have a meditation course that I was like, well, I just got to teach this. People don't really buy that one because It's like you don't know that you need healing. Most people don't even know that they need healing or that they would benefit from it.
Their idea of meditation also is, pretty far off of what it actually is.
Yeah.
Turtle meditates on a daily.
Oh, yeah.
Turtle?
Oh, yeah. Well, I do yoga. So yoga's my bag, baby. And I got to admit, when I first started doing yoga, it was one of those experiences that I'm like, why am I so apprehensive about this? And what got me over it was hot chicks. Because I would see them, and I'm like, well, if hot chicks are into it, like...
It's got to be good.
That still didn't get me coming back. I was like, no, even the girls in the yoga pants didn't bring me back.
Oh, yeah. It's brought me back. I bought yoga pants. I'm like, maybe my butt could look this good,
That's great. I actually thought of starting a program and reached out to a couple of yoga instructors to start a yoga for singers practice that specifically targeted, the breathing muscles and the just loosening up, and that would be great for singers. But they were like, I don't understand really what you mean. But now people are doing it, always ahead of the curve. But yeah.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess my experience that I'll share is it's kind of a fun little thing, which is I finally pulled out all my blankets. Here in LA, it's been so hot and everything like that, and I'm excited to go to bed. Can we end this right now? As a matter of fact, there's nothing like putting all your blankets finally over when it's cold, and the hardest part is literally waking up in the winter because you're all tucked in your blankets, and I wake up super early for work, and that is hard because I just tomorrow I'm just like I know I'm going to be 20 minutes late. I've just accepted it just so I could snuggle into those blankets. So that's my experience. Are you guys snugglers when it's cold? Do you guys like to stay in bed just a little bit more with those big blankets?
Yes, and I got to share with you a blanket thing. You're going to love this, and you're going to hate me, but you're going to love this.
Okay.
So we're always like, you put the blanket over the bed, you get into the blanket, and you're under the blanket's like this, right?
Yeah.
What I've been doing, and I don't know why I never thought of this, but it's changed my life. I actually, instead of going under the blanket, I lay on top of the blanket and then bring the other one over me. So it's like a Snuggie.
Whoa.
But, for a blanket, and there's so much, you just get wrapped up in it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I got to say that sounds pretty great. And just a little bit about my bed. I've always lived with like the smallest bed possible, like a single bed. And when I finally moved to where I'm at now, I bought a condo out here in Inglewood, California. My mom was like, she's like, son, you have got to get something bigger. And I'm just like, no, I'm like, this is perfect. It's just going to be me sleeping here, She's like, no, get this. And I forgot what I got, like a queen. I got a queen bed. And I'm like, how has my life never encountered this bed? So now all my sheets are like single sheets, but I have them over the queen bed.
Nice. That's funny.
Yeah, so very looking
forward. You got to get a bigger blanket now.
I guess.
Forget the sheets. I don't even use sheets. No, the fuzzy, furry.
Yeah.
What's wrong with the two of you? I have to have a king, a California king, and it has to have like the perfect sheets with the perfect top sheet and the perfect comforter, and then, the comforter has to have like a pillow top comforter, and yeah. I like all the cushion. All the cushion. And it's just me and Yoda. That's it.
That's funny.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you enjoying this hot blanket talk that we're talking about only right here on The Experience?
Hot blanket talk tonight.
But now everybody knows what our beds look like.
There you go.
That's fine. I'm cool with that. So tell us, Michael, what has been your experience that you'd like to share?
This week, I'm trying to think. We've been experiencing some pretty torrential weather, lots of rain and winds, like hurricane strength winds, and it's been a few days, and I love when I'm reminded of the power of nature, and I'll just turn off the TV and just look out the window and listen and watch the rain, and it's just, there's so much power in it, and it's also really calming, opening the window and letting that fresh air in, and it's just, usually too, when it's dark, when it's cloudy and rainy outside, I definitely have a tendency to get lower, get sucked into a little bit of that depressed kind of state. But I've been doing these breathing exercises that's really been helping me, the Wim Hof stuff, which you guys probably know about, and every morning, and I've been feeling really good. So yeah. That's my experience this week.
The rain has been interesting for me because I'm out here in Florida right now, and I haven't been to the parks in a long, long time. So I was so excited. I'm like, I got the park hopper. I'm going to go to all the parks. Like, it's going to be great. And I'm like in a full jacket with the hood, and then I had to get another rain, like, poncho stupid thing. First off, what's with the prices of
$50?
stick?
How much did you pay for that thing?
It was like $25.
Oh, okay.
I'm baffled at the prices of a piece of plastic. First off, they need something that's different than plastic. And because, people are just going to throw this away, and it's a waste, and it's killing our oceans. And stop using plastic, people. Let's stop it. And, this rain, when I'm on vacation, it shouldn't happen. Can we just get on the max plan? And
yeah, you don't want to come out. Yeah, you definitely don't want to come out to Florida and have it rain the whole time.
That's okay.
Well, Max, it's called a raincoat. You could easily go buy one, and
well, I had one on, but it was short, and the rain goes sideways here. Who knew? It's sideways. So your legs are all wet, and you're, trying to walk around, and, forget it. It's just a mess. So I didn't even make it to the Magic Kingdom, and I'm sad, and tomorrow I have to leave.
Well, I mean, it's not that like you can't come here in California and go to.
I know, but it's totally different. It is, And what do you guys think about this? Disney World versus Disneyland. Like, I know we have California Adventure, but Disney World has like everything. I went to Epcot today. I went around the world.
I'm not into everything. I'm one of those people. They're like, "You want an everything bagel?" No, I just want cinnamon raisin. I don't need the rest. You know, that's just me.
I can't even remember going to Disney World in Orlando, and I know I have. I just don't remember it. I remember going to Epcot vaguely. Disneyland, I remember being a lot smaller, but then they had California Adventure, and the Tower of Terror was such a great ride. Yeah, it's been so long it's been like 25 years since I've been to Disney World.
It's amazing. It's really amazing, but it costs $700.
What?
Yeah.
$700 for what?
For 2 days for the park hopper thing.
What? Oh, because you're not a resident.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like,
wow.
I'm just going to meditate on this.
Yeah.
See, where you see a problem, I see opportunity. And if I was Disneyland, what I would do is I'd make a Disneyland International Pass. So it's like you can go to Disneyland, go to Disney World, you could go to all the other Disneys and pay like a local because, you know, you're just doing local Disneyland stuff. For you, it's local. For you, it's, you know, it's your world. So
Should work for Disney then.
No. I cannot be that happy all the time. Those people are crazily cheerful. It's frightening.
And here's something else that's changed at Disney. Now, before they used to greet you, you know, like, you know, hi boys and girls, or hi man, or hi.
Can't do that anymore.
Hi friends. Hi friends.
Hi, friends. Yeah.
I kind of like that.
I like that too, actually.
Hi friends. I liked it. It's nice.
Yeah, everything is nice, and I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. We're going to play one more song, and when we come back, we're actually going to dive more into Michael. I know. all this Disneyland talk.
You know, we know his Disney preferences. We know about his bed. You know.
What more
That
can we get
dive
into?
into me. I need to prepare for this.
I got to admit, you're a voiceover actor, and you're totally ruining it because, like, you have like the best looking, like, oh look, the best looking son, the best looking son just arrived.
How's it going?
Good, man. How you doing?
Good. I'm just getting like complimented, and I see this little man come into the parade. Hello.
Had to sneak in just a little bit.
Yeah, that's cool.
Nobody ever gets to see Jesse, so
I know this is the first time I've actually saw him. So you look good. You look healthy.
Thank you. Yes, definitely doing much better lately than I was, but still standing. Can't kill me yet.
Good. Keep it up.
Thank you, buddy. I will not interrupt you. I wanted to say hi.
Good, man. I'm glad you did.
Pleasure meeting you guys.
Meet in person soon. All right, man. Take care.
There it was. So, what got you into voice acting?
Oh, voice acting. Ever since I was a little kid, you know, watching things like the Transformers and Thundercats and Super Friends, and it's like, man, I love those shows, you know, Scooby-Doo, and I would say the first real job I had when I moved to LA right out of school was I ended up working at a studio that recorded all of the voiceovers for the biggest shows that were recording at the time, the Powerpuff Girls and Men in Black series, Godzilla, Starship Troopers, and like, you know, Johnny Bravo, and the list just goes on and on and on. And the studio is still there, Salami Studios, still recording, and it's a great place in the same building as the Devonshire Studios. So the Devonshire Studio, well, that's a whole other story, but okay, so let me try to stay on track. I worked there as an assistant engineer recording the voiceovers the actors. And I went, man, I really want to do this. I've always wanted to do this, but never really realized it was a tangible thing. And so what I did was I made my own voiceover demo, and I gave it to probably the biggest voice director at that time, Sue Blue. And she gave me a scholarship to her class because she also taught. And I was so scared. I was like 20, early 20s. And I just did not have the confidence at that time in my life. And I thought, I know what I'll do. I will quit this job because I was kind of the same thing over and over, and I got bored, the ADD thing. And I said, I'll go and do on-camera work, and then I'll circle back to this, which is the stupidest thing I could have ever done. But I did that, ended up actually doing some on-camera work, and then at some point I realized, I never did fulfill those voiceover dreams that I had. So I said, it's time to do this. This is the right time. I actually started, these things, they happen like weird doors open sometimes. And this is one of those cases, as was getting the job at Salami. But I went to the SAG Foundation, had a voiceover lab. And I thought, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the voiceover lab. They offered free training for SAG members. I'm going to go. And when I got in there, I still remember it was an orientation, and I heard the studio manager saying, yeah, we're looking for another engineer director. And I said, bing, that's me. And so I talked to him after that. And anyway, 3-4 months go by. I put in my application and ended up getting the job. And as I was I learned how to direct. And then I also started to do my own stuff. And I started to put my own demos together, got the agents, reached out to my buddies that were in the business that helped me, including Chuck Duran and Jess Harnell. And just like that was how it all happened.
Wow.
That's a long version, but yeah.
That's fine, but what is it like to see your voice as a different character? Like I've always wanted to be a cartoon, and it is a dream of mine, and for that to come to fruition for you, is it one of a surreal experience, to say the least?
The way I'm supposed to answer that question is to tell you how great everything is and to tell you how everything is magical and everyone is fantastic and supportive. But my experience, and part of the reason why I think I didn't get to the place that I really wanted to was because I'm a little bit too honest about certain things. And in that circle, you're just supposed to say good things all the time. And that's kind of the game. And I'm like, well, okay, well, what am I going to do? And this has happened. I say basically we travel down roads. Then there's a fork. And there's a fork in the road. And at that point, we have to make a decision. And it's like, okay, so I got to the certain point where I realized, okay, you're either going to have to play the game and do the stuff that all the other people are doing, the guys and girls are doing. It's a little bit like high school. There's a pecking order and there's a cool kids club and all that stuff. And I said, or you can do it your way and like be able to look at yourself in the mirror at night. And I thought, well, what do you want more? Do you want a career or do you want to be able to look at yourself in the mirror? And of course, we always want both. But I said, well, what I want more is to be able to look in the mirror. So that's what I decided to do. And that has cost me a lot of work. It's cost me like agents. But in spite of it all, I can look in the mirror at night and I can look back at what I've accomplished so far and say, you know what, that's pretty cool. I didn't do what I had hoped to do, but what I did do, I'm proud of. And I got to do some cool stuff, and it's still going. It's not over yet. So, that's the answer to that question as I see it right now.
Yeah.
Speaking of cool stuff, like, I'm not sure if everybody in our audience understands the level of voiceover actor that you are. Could you tell us a few of your characters? Because they will be blown away.
Well, yeah. So I have been fortunate to do some pretty cool characters. I think the ones that, the Pokemon stuff. So I play a trainer in the Pokemon Masters. I think it's called Masters EX now. Trainer Wallace. I think that probably would be the one that people know most. I play Lorenzo in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. I play Count Nightfell in the Beyblade series. And I've also there's a show that I just completed a couple of weeks ago called Droners, and I play one of the leads on that. My character's name is Oro, and I hope that sees the light of day because it's a really cool show and a really fun character. So hopefully we'll see that soon. That show is actually on in Europe, but not the English dub. Like there are multiple dubs in different languages. So the show is on like Disney and Europe and other networks there. So I'm hoping that one gets picked up here at some point soon, but fingers crossed. And there's a bunch of other ones.
So our friends would know that Jess is from the Animaniacs, and he is also in a band with you.
Yeah. Well, I should say I'm in a band with him,
Well,
and
the other way around.
It's pretty. I mean, the band actually they had a couple of other guys in the band before I got there, but I got there and things just kind of seemed to gel. And I mean, Jess is telling me all the time, as was Chuck. He's like, "Man, I wish you were our bass player since like we were teenagers," and I wish that too. I wish I've known Jess for a really long time. Since the Salami days, so since I was probably 22 or 23.
Years.
Several years. And it's a fun band. It's called Rock Sugar. Fans of Jess obviously will already know the band. Chuck Duran is in the band as well, as is Kevin Kapler. So it's a fun band. We do all mashup songs that people know, but mashed up in a way that you've never heard. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love that band. I love all the guys in the band.
Yeah.
I think you guys have put out this past record was so fun.
Yeah.
It was
a lot of fun.
Next level mashup.
Yeah, it was really cool, and I hope people check it out if they haven't already. But we've got some videos on YouTube. There's like a celebrity-filled video of people like, doing, helping us out. Like Weird Al is in our video. Mark Hamill is in the video. All kinds of people are in the video. It's a cool, like really cool, fun song that I can't now remember what the heck. I can't remember the titles of the songs because it's like, 3 songs in one and all or more and all put into a title. It's great. But yeah, so on YouTube, Rock Sugar, they'll find it.
Very cool. Very cool. And during this entire time, did you still have that whole music mentality in the background? Like when you look at like doing some voiceover work, do you look at it more of like a singer type thing?
Sometimes. In fact, I have like a list in the back of my mind of characters that I still am waiting to do that are based on singers. So, for example, Rob Halford from Judas Priest has just such a great voice, and in a song like Painkiller, I always think, man, I want to make that, when the opportunity comes for a character like that to do that kind of voice, I'm just waiting for certain, there are certain singers that I have in the back of my mind going, okay, I'm just waiting for that right character to come along. And being a singer, I have a hard time just being flat. Like a lot of guys out there and gals right now, it's like very conversational, flat. There's not a lot of musicality in the delivery. And that's not very fun for me personally. I think it's boring, and it's boring for me to do it. And I think it's boring for the listener. The listener, like, there's a sense of adventure in these, games and that I think sometimes can be missing. But it's all about trends, so it's like more along the trends of being more real right now. And, like, for example, my version of Wallace is very flamboyant, very, engaging and musical and just energetic. And, it's fun. It's a fun character to do. Yeah.
Very cool. Very, very cool indeed. I'm still glad you're making music. When do you find time to do music throughout all this?
It's interesting, and I think, I'm not sure if I answered your question about like having music during this process, but I've always had music. I've always looked at, sometimes I put the guitar down for a while, or I put the bass down or the piano or whatever. And I just love music so much because although my relationship with it has changed over the years, it's always there for me. It's always there for you, for someone. Like, you can put the guitar in its case for as many years as you want to and put it under your bed. And the minute you take it out, it doesn't get angry with you. And, it's there for you. It's just waiting for you to play. That's why I love it so much. I've gotten to a point now where, I've done different things with the music. And sometimes, like right now, I use it in a therapeutic way. Find myself kind of, I'm kind of trying to find the connection between having fun recording again. I haven't quite gotten to that point, but, it's like we all have phases in life of things, and, and the ebb and flow of life. It's the same with music. My relationship with it changes, but it's always there for me. That's how I see it.
Very cool. Yeah. Recording is an odd thing, because originally I got into recording and then into music, but only because I couldn't find someone to test out the gear. So I'm like, I need a guitar person at and I'm like, where am I going to find one? I guess I'm going to be the guitar guy. I need a piano guy. I'm like, I guess I'll do it. Would I consider myself a musician? Oh, hell no. But I use instruments more for the technicality of it, more for the engineering part of it than anything.
Yeah, I feel the same way, and I was like that, like you as well, where I mean, at a young age, I just, I kind of stumbled into music, and then it just grew, like my love for it. And I was like, well, I've got this, I can play the drums, and then I can play the bass. And I was like, well, I'll teach myself how to play guitar, because my buddies were right there. Like, this is so cool. And I just wanted to play their guitars. And then I was like, I got to be a singer. I have to learn how to, and then I got into recording. So I could do everything one at a time on a 4-track, and like, wow, I just did this. And it wasn't like it sounded good, but I thought, I just created this thing. I see recordings as a painting. You know, like I see myself as a painter. I'm not sure that I'm a good painter, but I see myself as that, where I do a stroke here and that's guitar, and then I do a few strokes here and that's the bass, and et cetera, et cetera. And then you have this end result of painting, and that's the song you hear. Because I do everything myself, like on the recordings that you've been playing, it's just me.
Yeah. You know, Steven Adler from Guns N' Roses had this art exhibit where he was doing his drum beats, and they did colors and art to go with that. And it was a hugely successful exhibit. I wonder if you got into something like that, like say, for instance, you took one of your songs and lyrically you put a color to that and did a computer generated kind of abstract painting. That I wonder how that would be.
Well, it's interesting that you suggest that, because there is a guy, I can't remember where he is, but they I don't want to say measure, but that's the best word I can describe. They measure sound, and it's represented in different colors and shapes, much like, you know, what was that documentary, The Shape of Water, where they like put energy into water, and it would create these like almost like snowflake type shapes.
Yeah, crystallized.
Yes. It's like that with music. And this guy has, I'm hearing my echo. Let me turn my volume down. He has a representation of the music. It creates shapes. Like this is like, so it's similar to what you're saying. And yes, if someone wanted to do that, I would absolutely love if someone took my music and did something like that with it. I just, as one person, you know, as you know, part of the fun and also like the drawback is that doing everything yourself, you can do some things better than others, and then some things, you know, aren't my strong suit, but I do them anyway, and it's probably not the best idea for me to do that. But I just see it like, I also kind of see music for me, it's like, it's a laboratory. I'm creating a final product, but at this point now, it's not really about that. It's more about me experimenting with things and seeing what happens. Right. That's what music is more to me than anything else. At this point, right now, it's like I'm a mad scientist. And like, ooh, what would it sound like if I did this or like that and like that? It's probably why I'm not finishing anything too, because I'm also never happy with what the final product.
Right.
Yeah. I'm never, ever happy with what I hear. So, yeah, I have to walk away a lot. And I'm like, ooh, cool. But now when I walk away, I go, oh, cool. Like I did the vocal, 3 times on different nights and realize like, okay, maybe it's like this isn't, maybe I'd rather spend my time on a different song and not really like beat myself up about it or think that, there's this whole thing about, finish what you start, but sometimes you can't. I mean, Da Vinci didn't finish everything he started. There were a lot of things that he didn't finish. And sometimes I think we have to just be okay with unfinished things.
Yes.
That's at least what I'm learning.
And where can people find you at if they, let's say they're watching this and they want to, help you out or something like that? Is there a website or?
Yeah, so my website is Mykal.net, Mykal, and I am on Instagram at Mykal Music. I'm just not a social media person. I'm kind of like, talk about the shell, entering the shell. I am in the shell all the time. I am a Cancer. I am the crab. So you can find me in my shell all the time. But yeah, I do have a social media presence. I'm not really very active there, but you can always find my stuff on the website, and I can be contacted from there too.
All right, cool. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. We truly
Sure.
do
Thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
Yeah, it was a great talk about a little bit of everything, a potpourri, if you will. The last song that we are going to leave with is this song, Voices. Now, is this like your voiceover work or something, or what's the song?
No, this song is really about listening to your intuition.
Gotcha.
Your
One more time, Max.
pillow, if you
Listening to your intuition, yes, while you're resting comfortably in your new meditation pillow.
With your brand new blankets, you know?
What's that?
the fabric for the pillow, like the pillowcase, could be the music, the color, the fabric,
Funny.
the colors from your music.
Hey, if anyone wants to do that, I'm happy if they would. But no, the voices is really about kind of not trusting your gut and the voices that you're hearing, feeling that are being imprinted upon you, and then realizing that when you do, that those voices are guiding you to a positive place, and they're trying to help you. Disclaimer, not voices telling you to do bad things, because if anyone is listening and they hear those kinds of voices, you definitely want to talk to someone qualified to help you with that, because that's a different thing than what I'm talking about, but something that I know people can struggle with. So yeah, serious issue there.
Definitely. If you want to hear other voices, log on to entertheshell.com, because there you can check out all the past shows me and Max have done. So there's going to be other show notes for, to go ahead and catch Michael on. And, of course, all of our past guests. We have done 8 years of shows. We went on a hiatus. But, we still have a very comparable, extensive collection of interviews that we have done. So log on to entertheshell.com. And if you want to contact us, guess what? There's a click button. There's a contact button. Go ahead and click on that. And there's a donation button, ladies and gentlemen. So feel free to donate some cash, and we would totally dig it. Okay, so voices, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thank you to Michael Christopher, our guest, and we're out of here later.
Thanks, guys.